Welcome to my daily review. Today is Tuesday, August 19th. You're looking at a daily chart of the Nasdaq, which fell 1.46% today, 315 points, and closed at 21,315 on 9% below the average 50-day volume. You can see the volume's been coming in lower. Not that that matters. In a word, I could say today sucked. For our momentum names, are high growth names, AI, I guess you'd call it, stocks, data center plays that have been working so well. They got hammered today, and a lot of them are on the Nasdaq. So, the Nasdaq really pulled back to its 21. We can see that it's pulled back to its 21 several times during this current rally back in June 20th, and then on the Thursday, the 31st. And then Friday, the August 1st, it fell and it closed at 0.5%. And, the expectation was that it's going to, finally we're going to have a correction. And then what did it do? It just kind of rallied back up to that high of 21,803 on the 13th. And now it's pulled back to the 21 again. So caution ahead of Powell this week. That's, for sure. I mean, I think the market's thinking that Powell's going to be very hawkish and not going to give the market what they want to hear. But um, I want to take a look at, first of all, some of the indexes here. The IWM was down, uh, yeah, 0.75% here. Not as bad as the Nasdaq, that's for sure. And then the SPY was down 0.5%. I want to point out, though, the RSP, which is the equal weight, it weights all 500 stocks the same. This was up today. So that tells you that they were selling those Mag 7 names and in buying some of the other 493 names did better. How about that? This is a Microsoft down 1.5%. I think Apple's flat on the day. Yeah, Apple is flat. Meta has been selling off. They've had some rough news recently. Google, though, hung in there above the 10, I believe. Yeah, Google closed 0.4% above the 10, so Google looks pretty good. Amazon sold off as well. 1.5%, but still that's above the 10, so that's doing okay. And then Tesla doing what Tesla does, which is frustrating everyone, just consolidating within the base here. And then NVIDIA down 3.5%, and that one sliced to 21. So that one's a 0.7% below the 21. So something to note there with some of the other leading stocks. When you look at the market, you want to look at the leading stocks. So I'm going to get to that in this video. I'm going to talk about leading stocks. I'm going to go through some themes and then those RS stocks that I post at the top of my page. And that's what I want to focus on today. Some of the leading stocks that have not been doing well anyway. This is Netflix. Undercut the 50, rallied back above, and today sliced it and closed 1.3% below the 50. So that's not good. Spotify looks decent here. It's been forming this base here. It's above the 50, only down 1.2% today. So that's something to note. That's doing better than the index for today. A couple other names. I like Robinhood as one of the, not the proxy for the market. It's just one of the strong leaders. Pulled back to the 21. It's done that a couple times. So not the end of the world. To me, this one's still in this Darvis box and not quite ready to break out today. So if you ask yourself, is this a breakout? Is Robinhood breaking out? Well, it hit 117 and change today, but it's still trading within this box here. I believe the high was at 117.46, and last week or 2 weeks ago, yeah, 117.70 on the 12th, which was last Tuesday. So this is still, consolidating, 4, 5 weeks within a base there. If you look at it on the weekly, yeah, just a consolidation period here for Robinhood. It looks fine to me. It's just, down 6.5%. Like I said, that sucks. Today totally sucked for for us momentum traders, swing traders that like the heat. Yeah, Plovin, this is one that pulled back to its 21 today and then it closed 0.5% above it, 19% of the daily range. So there is no bounce today. And a lot of these Palantir, this is one that the Citron Research, they made public that they are short this thing and it went down 9% today. So congrats to them. I think they're now, Palantir is a overvalued stock. You want to say that, but we're in a strong uptrend. This is one of the strongest stocks in a strong uptrend. I will say though that the software names have all sold off recently. I've Showed you plenty of them along the way here. Salesforce, this thing has been absolutely torched. ServiceNow, completely weak. Datadog, these are just, yeah, MNDY Monday, ugh, Snowflake. Yeah, these are, a lot of these software names have been selling off. So Palantir finally getting hit. So you got to be careful out there. MicroStrategy, this is one of these crypto names. This one undercut the 200 today, closed 4.8% below the 200. So no bueno. All right, I'm going to get to some news and some earnings from this morning and last night. Viking, their trial, I guess you could say it didn't go very well. Their data was not that strong, and this one sold off below the 50, below everything. 42% haircut. And that's biotech, right? You get a kind of a disappointing trial, and then you lose 42%. And that's outhouse or penthouse. You're in the outhouse, buddy. All right. Palo Alto Networks reported last night. Good report. They have accelerating sales growth, which you see here, 14%, 15%, 16%. That's what you want to see. Accelerating earnings growth, 11%, 21%, 27%. Stock didn't do much, came up to the 200, got rejected. It was up 3% on a day where the Nasdaq was down 1.5%, but it didn't carry over. No pin action in Zscaler, which was, down 0.75%. Not the end of the world, but CrowdStrike down with the index, 1.8%. And Rubrik, this one's still consolidating within the base, below the 50, down 2%. So Palo Alto is the biggest one of all those, and it just didn't have any pin action, which is a little surprising here. What was working? Well, those utility names, right? Um, um, Utility. This is West WEC. This old Wisconsin Energy. Yeah, it's just consolidating within a base. Nothing horrible, but this is where the market was taking the money to. This one was up. Edison. What else we have? Con Ed, another one of these names. Yeah, looking good. And just for today, right? This is where the money was flowing to today. Duke Energy. All right. So just acknowledging money is flowing out of our growth stocks and into these defensive names. It doesn't get more defensive than Procter and Gamble. Yeah, 1.7%. This one actually made a bottom and now rallied through the 50, but yeah, it doesn't get more defensive than that. CL is Colgate, Palmolive. I mean, toothpaste, toothbrushes, that's pretty defensive. Clorox, cleaning stuff, trash bags. It's in a clear downtrend, but just got some love today. Okay, so just moving some money around. ECL, Ecolab, this one actually looks pretty good, breaking out. This is a soap product, cleaning products. Church and Dwight, CHD. Um, yeah, up 1.5% today. Then KMB, this is like toilet paper, toiletries, baby wipes, yeah, paper towels. All right, up 1.2% today. Very defensive names. Widow stocks that pay nice dividends. All right, moving right along. The home builders got some love today, so that's these are interest rate sensitives, and DHI is the one I like. This is forming a base. If you take a look at these weekly charts, this is a beautiful, nice cup-shaped pattern. This thing has been consolidating since September, man, almost a whole year. PHM, Pulte, the same thing. Yeah, I like these better on the weekly than the daily. You can see this bottom's been made, and it's rounding on the right side of the base. Taylor Morrison Homes, another one. Yeah, consolidating nicely. So those are doing well. The home builders, and then some of the financial names. Rocket, which bought Mr. Cooper, that one pulled back to the 10 and found support. They're trading the same here. Cooper pulled back to the 10, found support. So that looks pretty good. SoFi. Yeah, this one's one of the growth momentum names, pulled back 6% today. So that hurts. In my word for the day is that sucked. All right, down 3% lending tree, but still way ahead of its 10 here. 5% ahead of the 10, so not bad. All right. What do we have next? Oh, yeah, still the biotech stocks are doing well. Halozyme breaking out of a base and moving higher. So that looks pretty good, especially on a day like today where a lot of this growth stuff was getting slaughtered. INSM flat on the session. Flat is good. when the market's acting like the way it did today. RIGL, finally, after about 12 straight days up, it comes back, pulls back up, nearly 3%. So the selling was strong when RIGL was down. ALNY, that one was up a buck, $1.41 or 1/3%, just showing strength, trending with the moving averages. If I switch that to the 5, you could see it's trending right along its 5. SLGL, yeah, a nice pop there. Up 10% today. That looks good. Let's take a look at that on the week. That 1650 right here. That's a nice area right there. Just breaking out this week, up 15%. Yippee-ki-yay. But it's a little extended though. 15% above its 10. So you can't chase that stuff. And then DGX is a diagnostic, just a choppy chart, but strength today. So near a buy point, but I'm not interested in that. Road. These heavy construction plays, yeah, nice bounce off the 50 today. You got to consider the backdrop, right? There was a lot of selling today. So these ones that are just up a couple percent are showing real strength. This one's Primoris is showing like a 3 weeks tight here. That's a nice high tight flag there on the weekly. So you got to look at all different time frames here on these stocks. Another high tight flag for GVA. So look at this one on the weekly. Yeah. Yeah. 3 weeks ago it was up 15%, rallied up 3% last week, and then this week it's still up on the week. So all right. Now I told you I was going to get to some of the stronger names and how are they performing? This is what you look for. Are they finding support at moving averages? ALAB, not so much. Daily closing range 7%, and it closed 2.5% below the 10. That thing needs to find some traction here somewhere. Maybe at the 21, who knows? Maybe it'll rally back above the 10 tomorrow, but that doesn't look good to me. It looks like it wants to. Here's a BE finding support at the 10, not bad. Another one of these leaders, BMNR. This has been shaking out now for about 5 days here. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah, down to the 21. Look for maybe a shake below and then a break with that one. That was a really fast moving stock. You got to know what you own when you sign up for stuff like this. It went from what 30 to 71 in like a week and a half. So for it to go from 71 back to 49, that's to be expected. They're not going to go straight up. Yeah, like I say, you got to know what you sign up for with these fast moving stocks. IBP, this is a top group, building maintenance group, and this one, yeah, 1% today, one almost 2%. Not bad. So that's what you want to see in your leaders. They're holding their ground. IREN, I don't think this one's going to be on the list tomorrow. No, this one fell out hard today, nearly 10%. KTOS, another defensive name that fell hard. I think that one's coming off our list. Yes, it is. Lemonade, this one's very interesting to me. I'm tempted to buy this one here because it keeps pushing up against that 60-40-1 rejected, 60-35 rejected. Had an inside day. Yesterday it comes back, makes a 60-35 rejected. Today, 60-27 rejected. Well, it's going to allow this moving average to catch up and probably the 5. I'll switch over to the 5 for these top RS stocks. Just going to keep bouncing off that 5, and eventually it's going to come through the 60. So I'm considering putting that one on the ready list. Above 60, I like it. Below, I don't. I mean, you got to wait for that 5 to catch up there. It closed at 57.20, which is right at the 5, 57.20. You can see that if I zoom in there. You can see that a little better. See that 57.20 is the 5. So you would expect a bounce and another attack of the 60. And one of these times it's going to trade above the 60 and hold it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. MEDP, this one's holding up pretty well also. Yeah, just flagging here after that big move higher. So that one's going to remain on our list. NBIS, this is one of those, data center, software names that just get selling off. It was 7.5% today. It sliced the 10. I have it on the 5 now, and I'm not switching back. So you're gonna have to take my word for it. NEGG, this is another wild one. This is like a, Bitmine, just crazy moves. I will say with this one, a very distinct pattern. If you look at this, ever since it, moved out here on this break, forms this little, it moves up, forms a little consolidation pattern, right? Get out of here. Um, Breaks up, forms a consolidation, right? Continues to do that. Makes a break higher, forms a little longer consolidation, then breaks out, forms consolidation, breaks out big time last week, and now it's consolidating. I wouldn't be surprised to see this do that. In fact, I expect it to. 133 is the high there, just in case you're wondering. Yeah, 133. All right, let me see here. Let me see. What do we? Oust. This one just ouch. Yeah, this one no good. That's not going to be on our list anymore either. There's going to be a different looking list tomorrow morning. PGY off the list. This thing sliced to moving averages. Reddit. I think this one hung on above. Yeah, I think this one will be above the 10. It's 12% above the 21. We'll see. I'll post that in the morning. Solar name, Solar Edge. Yeah, that one looks fine. Rotation into Solar Edge. Unity Software. It's a design, not a software enterprise, but still, anything software has been getting sold. It was down only 3% today. VSAT. I like this one, but it sold off 4, almost 5% today. Still got this flag pattern. Got to get above that 28.59. Nice. It's still flagging there nicely. W, yeah, I mean, flat on the session. Flat is good when you see the carnage like we saw today, which totally sucked. And this is WGS. This is a diagnostic that'll still be on tomorrow. All right, thank you for watching. We have SE. That one's doing well also. So that'll be on the list. Okay. At mcstockcharts.com, we never go up. Thank you for watching. In honor of the great Steve Jobs, I have one more thing. Some earnings tonight. Toll Brothers. Home builders. We'll see what they have to say. We'll see how the stock reacts tomorrow. I didn't see anything. I did know that Lazy Boy was selling off hard at 23% after hours. And then Keysight was doing okay. Yeah, flat after they reported. Then tomorrow morning, you're going to hear from another big box, Target. And then on Thursday, Walmart. So you got Home Depot, Target, Walmart this week. Also tomorrow morning, you're going to hear from Estee Lauder. This thing's been going sideways. Definitely made that bottom and now doing a lot better. Obviously, we had the liberation rally since April, but it's doing better than a lot of stocks. And then TJX. TJX reports in the morning. This one looks pretty darn good, so I'm hoping for good things. Retail's been kind of tough. Anyway, at mcstockcharts.com, we never give up. Thank you for watching. See you in the morning.